Welcome to Artistry Collaborative. My name is Joanne and I'm so glad you joined me today. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome. I hope you stick around, and if you see what you like, become a subscriber, because I would love for you to join my YouTube family. To my subscribers, well, I just love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, today something a little different. We've been working on Easter, and there's still more Easter to come, but I needed a break. So we're going to go with a little bit of bohemian. Very different, very unique, and certainly doable with Dollar Tree items. Here at Artistry Collaborative, we are the home of TryLab, because, well, all we want you to do is try. So we love doing all kinds of creativity, and I love inspiring people to just dig in there and just do it your way, because you are a creative soul. You just need to work it, baby. Okay, so come along and let's create these 3 DIYs together. So we're going to make a crescent moon, and so I want to do a circle, but I don't want to do a full circle, because you know how a crescent moon is like this, so it's almost a circle but not quite. So I'm going to come, this is the whole circle. So what I did is I took a piece of twine and I just tied a piece of chalk on it. And I'm just going to try to get, that's not going to work, so it's got to be smaller. How long this is, it is 11.5 inches, and this is the foam core from Dollar Tree. So now we're going to take a sharp razor and cut it out. So then what I'll do is I'll just trim it up so that it's a little more even. Okay, now we have to cut the center. So now I'm guessing all this. I know I want that to be, let's find out where the center is. So this is a little more than 18.5, which would be 9 1/4 and 1/8. 9 1/4. This is the center there. the string and let it just go. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But what you want to do is give it more. Alright, now see, I like this better than this. So what I'm going to do is just freehand it. The thing about chalk is, well, we're going to cover it anyway, but yeah. Alright, so now we're going to cut this out. There's our crescent moon. Now, what I want to do is just put some lines in so that I have a gauge to place the stickers. Do that all the way across. They are sticky, but I'm going to use tacky glue because I want them to stay on permanently. So I'm just going to put the glue down. Have to trim these because it's circular and these are square, but that's not a problem. And you want to vary the sizes. Again, you will have to trim all these, but that will come later. And then put down the next layer. Because it's Dollar Tree, so they're not all cut evenly. You might have to put in little slivers later on, but that's okay. I just wanted to show, you know, how I'm progressing. And if you can, I would put cans or weights to keep them down as you are going along. So keep that in mind and just keep going. So this is what it looks like, and It's not as even as I would like it. I had a hard time, getting it straight. And it's very fragile. So I'm going to reinforce it, and next time I'm going to do it on a very thin wood because it will hold up so much better. But it's not a complete fail. I'm going to keep this one. I'm not going to sell it, but yeah, it's a thing you practice, that's for sure. So I'm just going to, oh, this is off. Okay. Well, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a board there, like that. So let me do that. Once the glue gun heats up, then we will trim it once it's completely dry, and then we'll add a rope around the edge to finish it. So now I'm going to take this silver cord. I'm trying to see how I can get this to not fray. But, so I'm going to take my hot glue, and I'm going to go all the way around the edge. Now, I bought this at Joann Fabrics. It's pricey. It's $2.49 a yard. I used my 40% coupon. I got 2.5 yards, but I don't know how much I'm going to need. So I'm just going to continue, do a little bit, try not to burn myself. I'm going to go all the way around and then back here again. 2.5 yards just made it. I had this much left over, and I thought, I tied another knot, and I thought I would just cut it in and untwist it. And just let it hang. I think that's kind of cute. Alright, and I just want to go over that, I braced it with these wooden pieces. But next time I'm going to cut this out of a very thin wood. Now I'd like to hang a star. I have several stars. I also have wooden stars. This came from like floral arrangements, and then this is the Dollar Tree one. Now I do kind of like the black now that I see it. I thought the blue might be nice too. And then the silver. Silver would match that. Yeah, I kind of think I gotta go with the silver. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hot glue this guy really well. Just stick it in there. Hold it down. Very light, so I'm not worried about it. I love it. It's going to go great in our galaxy room. Alright, so we are on to DIY number 2. So this idea has been running around in my head for a while, and I thought maybe this might fit right in there and it could just be, a light, but it doesn't. But I'm going to jerry rig it anyways, because I think I'll be able to run some wires or something through it. But what I want to do is have it as a hanging light. So, and it'll hang like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting just at the top here all these things. I may bend it out. so. I don't know. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these wooden beads. Now I had colored beads from Dollar Tree that I was going to use. Then I thought, I don't think I want to paint those. So I just bought these at Joann's. They're normally $19.99, but I had a 50% coupon off. And they have some really cool shapes. Now the thing about these is they're big enough. Oh, I hope they're big enough. Maybe this one isn't. Alright. Well, these certainly are. And I can't bend this until I put my beads in. But look, they have this beautiful shape. And the disc. And they have this one that has ridges. I'm not sure if you can see that. But those are really cool. So what I want to do is I'm going to paint these. They're going to have an ombre. The colors in my bedroom are, or will be, teal, a light teal, and gray. So I thought I would make these those colors. But I'm thinking I need to paint this silver. Spray paint it silver. Sorry, I'm going to do that. And so, this is what I have so far. I played around with the beads to see what configuration I liked, and this worked for me, except I just realized I'm probably going to do this backwards so that this bead is here and then it goes there. Anyways, so that this end will mirror this end. So I'm going to change those around. I ended up cutting this off completely because there are 9, and I was doing every other one, and that just doesn't work when you have 9, because then you have an odd number. So we're gonna play with this one. This one is just gonna be nothing but fun. I have no idea how it's gonna work, if it's gonna work. I have no idea how it's gonna work or if it's gonna work, but we're gonna see. So I took my 3 chalk colors that I had from Waverly: Peacock, Agave, and Lagoon. I'm not sure I like this one. I think I may end up with just these 2 and then maybe add white to this one to bring it down a little bit more. Because I think I'm going to make this and that bead gray, and then have this bead, and this bead gray, and then have these 3, you know, light to dark. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to paint my beads, taking them off. I may even decoupage a flower or paint a flower on these flat ones. I think that it should. Oh, and I did end up having to use my drill to make these holes big enough, and as you can see, I really have to work with it, but it will come off, yeah. Alright, but these are the only ones that were difficult. The rest slid on very, very easy. So yeah, so I'm going to paint all my gray beads, which will be this bead, and this bead, and this bead, and then we'll go from dark to light. So these will be Peacock, this will be Lagoon, and this will be the lightest. Alright, so, where's my Peacock? Now, a lot of people, what they do is they put their beads on a skewer, and it makes it easier to, isn't that funny, one goes on, one doesn't, but I'm going to keep space in between, and then I'll just take my paintbrush and paint each bead. So I'm going to paint all of these beads, and then we will come back. We'll put all the beads back on, and then we will start to twist the wire and see if we can get this on there. Yeah, we're experimenting and we're having a damn good time doing it. Alright, so let me do this and I'll be back. So this is what I have so far, and with these flat ones I want to put a flower image. So I went in my stash and I was looking for teal images, but this seems to be the best that I could do. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted, but I think it'll work. So I'm going to take my Mod Podge. I should just cut these out. I think it'll just be easier. Then we're going to let it dry, and then we'll sand it, the edges off. Alright, so now we're going to go and sand the napkin. I did do both sides because depending on how you're looking at this. Yeah, nice and clean. This side. So I'm going to put the small, then the medium, then the large, and then and then I'll do that all the way around. So let me do that and we'll go. Okay, so I have all my beads on, and now I went and I bent these all in. And again, you got to be careful because you know, they could snap off pretty easily. I mean, they're strong, but they're, you know. Anyways, and then I went with the ends, and I took my long nose needle pliers, and I'm just bending this back, trying to make them as uniform as I can. Because what I'm going to do is take a piece of wire and gather them all in. Yeah, see this piece of wire. This is kind of thin, but we're going to use it. And what I'm going to do is gather this all in. lot of jewelry that gets donated to me. So I was looking through my stash and I found these clusters. So we're going to hang these clusters all around. They're also known as jump rings. Let me see if I can find something. Sometimes what I do is I take apart a piece of chain because the rings are a little bit bigger. Take the jump ring, open that up. Put your piece in. I'm going to put some hot glue there because it's not going to stay. I mean, you could do these all the way around if you wanted, but I'm going to do one at each rib. So let me do that and I'll be back. Just attach the hanger part, and there you go. You can put your light on, and you've got a little lamp. Cute! Alright, we are on to DIY number 3. So, they have right now at the Dollar Tree a pack of these wooden hoops. Get 2 for $1.25. Which is a great deal. And so I've been having this idea for a long time that I want to put doilies in the rings and then make a whole wall thing. But today we're going to make a dream catcher using the doilies. So I'm going to use this doily, and because of that I'm going to use a regular hoop. I got these, like, they practically gave them away because it's missing the other hoop, and so this will work out fine. So now you can hot glue this if you want, but I am going to sew it to the frame so that it stays on better, I hope. So I'm just going in, and I'm going, well, this one has points, so we're going to sew the points from point to point. I'm probably going to have to put some glue too. It looks like that's going to be inevitable. Alright, so let me go and sew these points, and then I'll come back. So after catching it in several places, it was still kind of floppy, so I did end up going back with my hot glue along the ridge and putting a little hot glue so that it was a little more stiffer, because I did want the beauty of the doily to show through. Now I went through my ribbon stash and just cut a lot of matching ribbons, complementing ribbons, and I did them in 36, 24, and 12-inch strands. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to get it in the smallest holes possible, and all I do is loop it and then take the two and just pull. And I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Again, I'm just doubling it and pulling it through and tightening. Now, I do like the knot on this, it's not a knot, but, so I'm going to take this one off and redo it. Oops. Like that. And what I'm going to do is get my long ones here and then shorter ones here, so to build out. So I'll take one of these. Yeah. So I'm going to keep going and I'll be back. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and what I found is these little 12-inch pieces that I didn't want them that short, so I went in. One of the things I need to tell you is when you do your pieces, I ended up opening up the knot and putting a dot of glue, because they were coming undone, so to prevent that from happening. So these little pieces, what I did is just find a little hole and stick it in, and then I'm just going to add a little dab of glue in the back on the rim and do that. Alright, so I'm going to use up these little pieces. Okay, now I'm going to add some flowers down here. So I'll give you how many, let's see, how many long ones I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of the 36-inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 18-inch, and then just 4 of the 12-inch. But again, I wouldn't even do them, I would just do more of the 24-inch. Alright, let me get my flowers. So I was trying to find things that I thought worked, and I pulled these were from the Dollar Tree, but they're just way too big. They don't work. But this is soft and feminine, and yeah, I like these. So I'm adding in some pinks. And again, I'm just playing with these. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. I mean, do I want it even? Do I want it to go like this? Kind of like this. So yeah. So then I'm just taking my hot glue and going to put these in place. Okay, so now I wanted something on the top, so I'm just making a bow. I'm just trying to use up the pieces that I cut and didn't use, so I just took this 12-inch piece and put a spot of hot glue in the middle, and then bent this over. So I'm going to put this below here. Then I just made a regular simple bow, nothing too extravagant. And I'm going to put this on there. not the best, but it will do. And there you go. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't become a subscriber, I would really love for you to join my YouTube family. Please give it a thumbs up, share, like. All of that is really important to my channel. Facebook tends to mess with the channel. I don't know why mine is growing so slowly, because I get a lot of positive feedback, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I really appreciate each and every one of you, and just keep tuning in. More and more to come. So as we say, keep on creating. Yeah, I had to find something to hang this from because I haven't set it up yet. So this is just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And there you go. There's the other two DIYs. The crescent moon. It did come out well. My daughter loves it, and that's all that's important. I hope you liked it too. And here's the close-up from that. And then of course we have the dream catcher, which I think I'll probably trim those ribbons so they look a little more gradual.